I thought I was being a good husband. Thought I was doing something sweet, thoughtful, the kind of thing that makes your wife smile and say, I married the right man. Her car had been making strange noises for weeks. Little sputters. Occasional jerks when shifting gears. Nothing major, or so she claimed. But I could see her frustration every time she came home from work, slamming the door a little harder than usual, muttering about the engine acting up again. So one Saturday morning, while she was out for brunch with her sister, I decided to surprise her. I drove the car down to the shop she always used, Tony's Auto Repair. Small place, family-run, tucked into a strip of industrial garages downtown. The same mechanic, same staff for years. My wife, Jessica, swore by them. Tony knows my car better than I do, she used to joke. They greeted me with familiarity when I arrived. Hey, haven't seen you in a while, said a man with a gray beard and oil-stained hands. I'm here for Jessica's car, I smiled. Just a tune-up. Maybe a fluid check, belt replacement, whatever it needs. Don't worry about cost. I want it running smooth for her. He nodded and took the keys. You got it. Should be ready by the end of the day. I left feeling good, like I'd earned some points on the invisible scoreboard of marriage. A little gesture of care, no occasion needed. When Jessica got home later, I handed her the keys with a grin. Car's fixed, I said. I took it in for you. There was a pause, a brief, flickering silence that I didn't catch at first. It was the kind of pause that makes sense only after the truth hits you. She blinked, then forced a smile. Oh, thanks, babe. That's really sweet. I didn't think twice about it. Not until weeks later. That's when everything started to unravel. It began with a text. A message I wasn't supposed to see. Her phone was on the counter, face up, while she was in the shower. I wasn't snooping. I was literally reaching for the remote. But that preview notification changed everything. Miss seeing you today. Thursday again? Winky face. From a number saved as T. My stomach dropped. I stared at it, frozen. It wasn't proof. Not yet, but it was wrong. It was off. I tapped the message, and the pit in my stomach exploded. The full thread was there. Weeks of flirty messages, risque jokes, subtle innuendos that left very little room for interpretation. And then a photo. A blurry mirror selfie in a dusty garage. Oil streaks on his arms. A half smirk. Tony, the mechanic. I scrolled back. It had been going on for months. They had inside jokes. Meeting spots. Shared secrets I wasn't a part of. My name never came up. Not even once. I was invisible. My hands trembled. I put the phone down before she came out of the bathroom. I didn't say a word. Not that day. Not the next. Instead, I watched. I listened. I paid attention to every detail. The way she suddenly guarded her phone. The strange excuses about traffic or late meetings. The way she smelled different some evenings. Not like perfume, like motor oil and borrowed guilt. And through it all, I kept smiling. Because if she thought I was being quiet, she had no idea what silence could really do. There's a kind of clarity that comes with betrayal. At first, you feel chaos, the gut punch, the nausea, the disbelief. But once the storm inside your chest settles, something colder takes over. Something sharper. Calculating. That's where I was. Jessica had no idea I knew. She kept playing her role, the affectionate wife, the overworked professional. She even started being extra sweet, which only made it worse. Every time she leaned in to kiss me, I saw Tony's oil-streaked hands in my head. So I did what I never thought I'd do. I started acting too. I played dumb. I played loyal. I started pretending harder than she did. And I planned. Not rage. Not violence. That wasn't me. I didn't want to hurt her physically. I wanted to unravel her life from the inside out. Quietly. Precisely. Just like she did to me, day after day. I started with her schedule. Jessica worked in public relations for a luxury automotive company. Irony, right? Cars were her whole world, even professionally. Appearances mattered. Image was everything. She drove to meetings, photo shoots, launches, events. Her vehicle wasn't just a car. It was an accessory, part of the polished identity she wore like armor. And that was where I'd strike. I waited 2 more weeks. Long enough for her to get comfortable again, to think whatever tea in her had was safe in its shadowy little corner. Then, one night after she fell asleep, I slipped her keys from her purse. Her beloved Audi sat quietly in the driveway, moonlight gleaming on the windshield. I popped the hood, gloves on, tools in hand. I didn't destroy it. No, that would be obvious. I sabotaged it. I loosened the serpentine belt just enough to cause problems under pressure. I partially unlatched the battery terminal. And I added just enough sugar to the fuel tank that it wouldn't kill the engine immediately, just ruin it over time, make it stall, break down in unpredictable ways. Death by 1,000 cuts. Then I cleaned up and went back to bed. The next morning, I kissed her cheek and told her to have a great day. She didn't get 10 minutes down the road before the car died in the middle of traffic. She called, panicked. Something's wrong with the engine. It just stopped. I'm going to be so late. Oh no, I said, feigning concern. Should I come get you? No, it's okay. I'll call Tony. Of course you will, I thought. Perfect. I waited until she was busy at work, then drove to Tony's garage myself. He didn't recognize me, or maybe he did and played it cool. Either way, I smiled, shook his hand, and asked if he had a moment to look at my brother's car, which had been stalling lately. I even cracked a joke about bad maintenance. He chuckled. What he didn't know was that I'd placed a small GPS tracker under his workbench the week before. And now I was adding a second, this time, under Jessica's bumper. I wanted to know everywhere they met. I wasn't finished yet. Because ruining her car wasn't the endgame. Ruining her reputation was. You see, the company Jessica worked for? They prided themselves on image. Professionalism. And she was their golden girl, the face on brochures, the one giving interviews and attending expos in stilettos and custom-fitted suits. So when I anonymously forwarded a few screenshots of her text conversations with Tony, the very mechanic she recommended in her official company blog, to the PR director's inbox, let's just say the wheels began turning faster than I could have imagined. That same week, she was called in for an urgent review of internal ethics. She came home shaking, confused, saying someone had twisted a story and accused her of conflict of interest. I nodded. People are awful, I said. But I wasn't done. The final blow came during her company's biggest annual gala, a formal event she helped organize for months. She never made it. Her car died again, this time in front of the hotel valet station, blocking the entrance, spewing white smoke like a dying dragon. Tony came to the rescue. So did her supervisor. Together. In front of everyone. Jessica was humiliated, caught, exposed, her credibility shattered in one very public collapse. And I stayed home, poured a glass of whiskey, watched the video someone posted to social media, and smiled. After the gala fiasco, Jessica came home looking like someone who'd aged 10 years in a single night. Her heels were scuffed. Her dress had a burn mark on the hem from the engine smoke, I assumed. Her lipstick was smeared, but not in the romantic way. It looked like she'd wiped away tears until there was nothing left but streaks and ruin. She walked in, dropped her clutch, and sat on the edge of the couch like a marionette whose strings had finally snapped. I was in the kitchen, pretending to scroll through my phone. She didn't say anything for almost a full minute. Then, finally, they're putting me on suspension. I looked up. What? Why? She swallowed hard. Someone leaked texts. Between me and Tony. HR says it looks like a conflict of interest, and because I publicly endorsed his shop through the company, it's bad. Really bad. Oh my God, I said softly. How would someone even get those texts? She didn't answer. She couldn't. Somewhere deep down, I think she knew. The silence stretched between us, thick and heavy, like wet cement drying slowly around her ankles. She went to bed without dinner. I didn't follow. And that was the new rhythm of our home. Quiet. Awkward. Cracking at the seams. Tony ghosted her 3 days later. Blocked her number. Shut down his garage temporarily for renovations. She cried when she found out. Not out loud, but in that quiet, desperate way someone does when their illusion collapses. She kept trying to hold it together. Kept trying to pretend like this was just a rough patch. But the emails from her company stopped coming. Then came the official letter. Her contract terminated due to irreconcilable professional conduct. No lawsuits. No appeals. Just exile. She broke down in the middle of the kitchen. Collapsed onto the floor, knees scraping tile, sobbing into the same apron she used to wear when she cooked Sunday breakfast. I lost everything, she said through clenched teeth. Everything. I knelt beside her. And for the first time, I told the truth. No, I said softly. You didn't lose it. You gave it away. Piece by piece. Every time you lied to my face. Every time you texted him while I was making dinner. Every time you thought I'd never find out. She froze. Slowly, she looked up. You knew. I nodded. For weeks. Maybe longer. Her face twisted into something between horror and disbelief. Then why didn't you say anything? Because words wouldn't have done it justice, I said coldly. You didn't deserve a confrontation. You deserved to feel what I felt. Powerless. Betrayed. Alone. She sat there in stunned silence. The silence I had once lived in. But now, it belonged to her. The next day, she packed a bag. One small suitcase. Nothing else. No tears this time. No dramatic speeches. Just silence. And when she walked out the door, she didn't even look back. I watched her go. And I didn't feel triumph. I didn't feel relief. I felt peace. Because justice, when delivered with precision, doesn't need applause. It just needs to be felt. After Jessica left, the house fell silent. Not the painful silence of betrayal. Not the tense quiet between arguments. This was something else. Something cleaner. It was the sound of peace. I spent the next few days clearing the space, both literally and emotionally. I boxed up the photos, the souvenirs from vacations that clearly meant more to me than they did to her. I took down the Mr. and Mrs. sign from the hallway, the one she insisted on hanging the week we moved in. The bed felt too big for a while. The kitchen too quiet. But that was okay. I'd spent enough time sharing space with someone who was already emotionally gone. Now, it was mine, and I could breathe. I started rebuilding my routine from the ground up. I joined a gym, picked up old hobbies. I even started attending a local meetup group for people going through divorces, something I never thought I'd do. But sitting in a circle with strangers who'd survived similar fires helped more than I expected. It was there that I met Claire. She wasn't flashy. She didn't dominate the room. She just had this way of listening, really listening, when people talked. She didn't fill silences with cheap advice or false comfort. She simply let things be. We grabbed coffee once, then dinner. And slowly, with no rush, no illusions, something real began to take shape. One night, we walked through the park as golden leaves swirled around us. She turned to me and said, "You seem like someone who's been to hell, but didn't let it turn him into a monster." That stuck with me. Because she was right. I could have gone dark. I could have let the betrayal rot me from the inside out. But I didn't. I chose silence. I chose patience. And when the time came, I chose justice, not rage. Because some betrayals deserve more than anger. They deserve clarity. The kind that slices through the lies and leaves truth standing alone, undeniable. Jessica? She tried to reach out once. An email, months later. No subject line. Just a short message. "I'm sorry. You didn't deserve any of it." I didn't reply. I didn't need to. Because closure isn't something another person gives you. It's something you give yourself. And I had already given it. The day I watched her walk away, alone, defeated, undone by her own hand, was the day I finally felt free. Not because I hurt her, but because I had survived her. And now? Now, I live on my terms. With honesty. With peace. And with someone who doesn't make me wonder what's hidden behind their smile.